I think we're good to go. So I can do an official hello. Welcome. Really excited to see you all. Thank you for joining. This is our first Cookalong, a Magimix Cookalong in our HQ kitchen here, which is really exciting. And I'm going to be making a cherry tomato and parmesan risotto this evening. So hopefully if you have your cook expert with you and all your recipe and all your goodies all ready, you can cook along with me. But also welcome if you're just coming along to see what all this is about, see what I'm going to be whittering on about for probably another 30 minutes, and see what it's all about. What's the cook expert about? And do say hello. We've got the fantastic Francesca who's working away on the background, so she'll see your messages. So say hello, where are you from, who are you, all that kind of thing. And tell me if you've got a cook expert. You know, let us know if you've got one or if you're thinking about that kind of thing. And yeah, I think we should crack on. But welcome. Okay, so as I was saying, we're going to use the cook expert this evening, and we're doing a cherry tomato and parmesan risotto. And so you all know, with the cook expert, we're going to waken our beastie, and we're going to be using the expert mode. I'm going to talk a little bit about the functions as we go, but for everybody that's cooking along, we're using the expert mode. So let's have a wee look. So firstly, we're going to add We've peeled a shallot and chopped it in half. We've got a garlic clove and we've got a spring onion. So let's get all that in here first, actually. Take your lid off. Chuck all that in there like so. And this is just first step. So lid on. Like I say, we've woken up our beastie. I love calling it a beastie. I don't know why. And we're going to pop it on for 10 seconds. And we're going to go for speed 13, so just up we go, speed 13. And we don't want any heat at the moment, so no heat, pressing the toe. So that's just going to chop our onions and garlic, literally in 10 seconds, so no time at all. And that little bleep lets me know that it's done. So I just got to watch when I take the lid off, don't put your face over it like I did when I was practicing this, because I was in tears. So if I start crying, you know why. So let's have a quick scrape down. That looks fab. Superb. And now we're going to add our butter. We've got 40 grams here. Pop that straight in. Lovely, lovely. Lid back on. There we go. And this time, go over to the time again. We are going to put that up to 3 minutes. So we're just going to, if you keep your finger on it, it'll whiz up a bit quicker. 3 minutes, go across, and we're going to knock that down to speed 3. We don't really want to be chopping that anymore. We just want to be stirring it, and number 3 is great for that. And this time we're going to have some heat. So we're going to whiz that up to 120 degrees. There we are. Up we go. There we are. There we are. So putting that on 3 minutes and speed 3, that's just kind of stirring it. And it's just going to melt that down at 120 degrees gently. And we're basically softening our onions and garlic. So it's just going to be ready for the next stage. So you know, as I was mentioning, we've put this on expert mode, and the Cook Expert has 13 functions, automatic programs from anything from cooking, baking, your blender. It's got so many functions, steaming functions, stir-fry functions, and I'm going to touch on a lot of those things as we go along, hopefully in more of these videos. But this one is just the expert mode. So expert means manual. So your expert mode is your manual. So that is giving you the option to change the speed to how you like it, change the time how you want it, and also the heat. And that gives you the opportunity as well. If you have a favourite recipe or something that you've always made, and you might like to convert it into using the Cook Expert. So that gives you the chance just to play around and do it how you want to do it as well. But with those automatic functions, if you just want to chuck something in and press a button, it's got those as well. So it's really nice and easy. So I mentioned the heat there. I just want to touch on a few things just while this is cooking for the 3 minutes. You've got a induction plate here, because somebody said to me the other day, where's the heat come from? So you've got an induction plate here, and when we use the temperature function here, that will go up in increments of 1 degree. So it's super fast, super efficient, and so you can really get up to speed really fast. So that's your induction plate there. As this is cooking as well, don't be worried that this is going to get too hot to touch. It's warm, it's getting warm. And with the temperature, you can go up to 160 degrees with the Cook Expert. So, you know, that's pretty hot, but it's never going to get too hot to touch on the outside, because you've got this is called our thermo bowl. And our thermo bowl is double walled insulated as well. So you really have got no chance of it burning you. So get the kids involved, get them cooking, why not? And that's nice and safe for them. So yes. So how are we doing? Okie dokie, we're nearly there. Let's have a wee look. So I'm going to have a wee peer. We've got a lovely glass lid here. So I love looking through here. It gets a bit steamy, but that's bubbling away there. And with this glass lid, it's superb, because then you don't have to keep having to stop and taking the lid off and whatnot. You only just need to do that for the next stages. So that's your glass lid. And the little alarm is going off. I'll come back to what I was going to say. So that's been the first 3 minutes up. Here we go. Now we can see that we're cooking. The steam is rising. That looks fab. That looks and smells divine. Cool. Mustn't tap the bowl, you'll hear it really loudly. So now we're going to add our rice. We've got 320 grams of arborio rice. Pop that in there. Let's pop the lid back on. And we're going to run exactly the same again. So over to our timer for 3 minutes. There we go. Down a bit. Come across to the speed. We'll keep it on 3, and we're going to keep it on 120 degrees as well. So by adding our rice to our butter and our onions, that's nice and soft, and it's incorporating that rice really lovely. And what I'm going to do after about a minute, so I'll keep an eye, because what will happen, I'll get chatting, time will fly, and then I'll suddenly remember I've got to do something. So do let me know. After about a minute, I'm going to add the wine, and we're going to have 100 ml of white wine. I'm using one of these little bottles because that's really handy. And about 100 ml. Use any wine you like at the end of the day. I don't think there's any reason to use a cheap wine or an expensive wine, whatever you like. And we're using one of these. I can keep this for later. Oh, no, I'll put that one to one side. So we'll be ready for that in a moment. And what you can do when the machine is running, just open your cap and add your wine while it's going, like so. Now, oops, now I've just opened the lid by accident. Happy trick. If you do that, as I say, I just was trying to shut the cap, but I've turned the lid. Just restart it. And you're not going to lose your time, your temperature, nothing. It just restarts, so it's no problem there. Happy accident. These things happen. So by using the cap, you can just like add extra ingredients through your wine, or say you were making a bread dough and you wanted to add seeds and things like that, you can do that along the way. Little tip, always keep the cap on unless the recipe states otherwise. And for this one, we keep the cap on. And that just keeps the temperature in, keeps it all cooking nicely. I would say the only reason you might remove your cap is if you were making cakes. So if you can make cakes in this. So if you're doing your cake making and you want to get air and volume into your mix, then I would remove the cap. Also, if you were going to whisk meringues, that would be another thing. You want to get the air into your mixture and keep that nice. And also, You can make sauces in this. So if you were making a sauce and you wanted to reduce that sauce down, open the cap, it's going to reduce down really nicely. So that's what you do with the cap. I just need a quick drink of water. I've already been talking a lot today. How are you doing? Everybody well? Is everybody still with me so far? Right, let's have a look. Well, we've just got about 16 seconds left. I've got so much to tell you. If you want to find out a little bit more information about the Cook Expert as we go, what I would do is, there's loads of ways, but I would say look at the Cook Expert UK Facebook group. That will give you loads of information. I'm going to come back to that in a minute. Right, next stage. We're whizzing along here. This is amazing. All right, and this is the beauty of this. It's happening so fast. Right, so we've got the rice, the butter, the onions, everything in there like that. So now we just need to add our water. We've got about 700 mils of water. There we go. And we've got our stock cube. Now, is this going to come out on its own? I'm using a vegetable stock cube. Plop that in. So, lid on, like so. Now, this is the longer bit of cooking. So this is where we're going to come across again to the time, and we're going to whack that up to 17 minutes. In the recipe book, it says 17 to 18. So let's go across. And with the speed now, we're going to knock that down to 2A. And I'll explain that in a moment. Come across, and we're going to reduce the heat down to 100 degrees. There we go. Okie dokie. On. So that's going to cook away for 17 minutes. I think with risotto it can be quite personal how you want it. I mean, if you want it really al dente, then maybe 16 minutes might be enough for you. But to be fair, I would say to get the perfect, what I call the perfect risotto, go for about 17 minutes and it should be just perfect. Not too stiff and not too saucy. So we're going to leave that be like that. Yeah, I was just saying about the Facebook group, the Cook Expert UK Facebook group. I would have a look at that. It's so good. There's so many people on there now, and it's a wonderful community of people, and they all share such amazing recipes and photographs, and they've been putting some beautiful things up there, actually, that's inspiring me to do so many different things. So it really will give you a good idea on what to do. Also tips and tricks. You know, people might say, you know, I'm thinking of making this, how do you do it? You know, that sort of thing. So give it a look and go from there. So yeah, so that's that cooking away. Let's have a little look at what we're going to do. So what I'd like to show you now, also we've got the smashing book here, which I can talk about later as well. What I'd like to show, I'm really lucky enough in the kitchen today to have two cook experts. Spoilt child, what's going on? And reason being, with this amount of time to go, I wanted to show you that you get the, when you buy the Cook Expert, you've got your food processor bowls. And obviously this is a cool bit of kit to have, but don't forget you've got your food processor side as well. I mean, obviously Magimix is steeped in history with our food processor, and this is a real whiz to have alongside as well. So just to show you, this will be obviously what you get, what you all know you get with in your kit, and you get this little black base which transforms the Cook Expert into then the food processor. So I just think it's brilliant to be able to have the two things going alongside. So you just click that into place, and what will happen? That will go automatically onto food processor. You don't have to do anything. As we wake this one up, you see it's already gone into food processor mode. And there's no danger that you can put the heat on. You can't put the heat on with this. So you're not going to suddenly put the plate on and it melt your bowls or anything crazy like that. It's all fine. So what I'd like to show you, you get 3 bowls. You've got a mini bowl with a mini blade. That's like a little mini chopper, super handy. So if you can do your sort of pestos and chopping nuts and small bits and pieces. baby food too. Bear in mind, you can do baby food in there too if you've just had a young'un. And you've got your middle-sized bowl, which is superb for grating and slicing. Then you've got your main bowl, which has a main blade, which you can do some more chopping and stuff like that. So what I'm going to show you, I'm going to get rid of the middle-sized bowl and this one just for now. I'll just pop this over here. Ooh, it's doing well. Keep checking. That smell is now starting to creep across. I think it's so mean, isn't it, when we're in a kitchen? When you see these things on videos or YouTube or whatever, everyone talks about the smell and you guys can't do it unless you're cooking along with me. I hope you are. But this is really where it's coming into its own, actually, because by setting this at 17 minutes, if this was in my real life kitchen, I'd go and sit and have a glass of wine now, or go and have a chat with friends or family, you know, while this is cooking away. So it's really coming into its own. The other thing you could do is to sort of go take the dog for a walk or something like that, and then it's all going to be ready for when you come back. So it's really convenient. Anyway, I digress. Back to the food processor. So what I want to quickly do is to show you some grating and slicing. So you get some grating and slicing discs with the machine. You get 2 graters, 2 slicers, 2mm and 4mm, which is really handy. Little disc support there. Pop that in, and I'm going to choose the 2mm grater and pop the lid on. And what I'm hoping to do, I've got a little green salad which just got some nice salad leaves which I'll pop there to serve with the risotto. I don't know about you, I'm really quite hungry, so I'm really looking forward to having some of this in a little while with a nice green salad. So we've got our salad, and what I like to do is just have a little bit of, I've got some pieces, bits and pieces here to show you. Just going to grate some white cabbage just to add onto the top. And obviously that's brilliant as well. I'm just going to add this into my green salad. But if you want to make coleslaw and things like that, then superb. Okay, so that's my white cabbage. And the other thing I'm going to show you, I've just got a little carrot here, because what I would really like is, I love it when you have a salad and you can have sort of like really lovely long shreds of something, either carrot or beetroot or something like that, so it brings the salad to life. So when you're using your grater and slicer, if I just remove the pusher here, I'll get rid of these little bits. If you lay your carrot down horizontally, you'll get long shreds. If you put your carrot in on end, you'll get short little shreds. So up to you. This is great as well. If you wanted to do, it's almost like a julienne. If you wanted to do long shreds of carrot and long shreds of courgette, you could do that in here and then put it in your stir fry. So that was another little tip along the way. Super. There we go. You always get a little bit left at the top because that stops your pusher touching the blade. We don't want to do that. Superb. Righto, let's just move these out. Sorry to disappear. But let's show you what we've got here. So you can see got like the long, little bits of cabbage, which I wanted. Can you see that there? And then the long shreds of carrot. And like I say, you could do that with beetroot as well, which is always lovely. Now, the other thing I want to show you is using the 2mm slicer. I'm going to pop that on. Just be careful when you're handling these. Don't want to sound like your mum, but just be careful. The blades are uppermost, so just want to be careful there. So I've got the 2mm slicer, and the other thing I've got some lovely black olives. Now, yes, you could put whole olives in your salad, of course you can, but I want to show you sliced. How I came about this was I was making a quiche. I've always got a story about everything. And I wanted sliced olives in this quiche, and I thought, I hadn't thought about slicing it through the food processor. And I did it, and I thought, oh my goodness, this happened so quickly and so brilliantly well done that this is great to share. So anyway, I'm just going to put a few handfuls into the feed tube. Won't use all of them, just a few, just to add to the salad, like that. So quick. Let's remove these bitties. How's it cooking? How's it all doing? Are you still with me? Are you still okay? Or have you gone and taken the dog out for a walk? It's fine, it's a lovely day. No, I hope you're still with me. You can see what's going on there. So we slice these perfectly. Brilliant. So I'm going to add these to the salad. I'm going to give them just a little stir through. Like so. Beautiful. Should use a spatula, but anyway. Here we go. Love this spatula. Sounds silly. Big, long side for big bowl, short side for small bowl. I know, we've thought of everything. There we go, that's enough. Pop this back on. And I'm just going to show you the middle bowl. And we're just going to grate some, where have I lost everything now? Where did I put it? There it is. I'm going to use that 2mm grater again. And it doesn't matter, there's a bit of carrot on it, it's fine. I'm going to just show you how easy it is to grate some parmesan, because after this I'm going to make a pesto and I need some grated parmesan for that. So, lid on. For the recipe for the pesto, I've got just about 50 grams. So we pop that in there like that. And it goes through really quickly. Super. There we are. So I'll add that just to my bowl for a minute. So that's fantastic grated parmesan, and that's on the 2mm, so I think that's perfect for what we want there. Just going to add that in there. So we'll leave that bowl where it is. Let's have a little clean up. How are we doing? Got 6 minutes. I can't believe how quick this is going. This is crazy. So you'll be ready to eat your fantastic risotto in about 6-7 minutes, which is just superb. Let me just move this out of the way. There we go. Right, let's make you a quick pesto. So we've got the main bowl on. You've always got to have your main bowl on when you're using the food processor. And we're going to add the mini bowl. And let me just, should have really wiped this out, but anyway, we'll be fine. I use a really good handful of basil. It's probably about 15 grams in terms of weight, but a good handful of basil leaves. We've got 1 clove of garlic going in. We've got our cheese, and we've got our pine nuts. So 50 grams of each. 50 grams pine nuts, 50 grams of parmesan. So let's just give that a bit of a whiz. Like so. We'll just let that combine and blitz for a few seconds. I really want to show you that. I'll show you how that's done there, which is like that. Smells gorgeous. Let's pop that in there. And what we'll do, we'll add about 100 ml of olive oil. So take the little centre pusher out. probably don't need to measure it, but I'll be good and measure it. This is where my old eyes, there we are. About 100 ml, like so. Oh, this is coming together very nicely. Here we go. So let's just get this going and add our oil. Bit of personal taste really how much you want to add. And I'm probably going to make this a little looser because what I want to do is to dress the salad. I'm going to use the pesto to dress the salad, so just make it a little bit more drizzly than maybe if I was cooking with pasta. And then at the end, when we've finished our risotto, I'm going to dot a little bit on there just to bring it alive. So we're all good. You're all happy and with me. It's really relaxing, this, isn't it? Well, actually, it's not that relaxing for me, but anyway. No, it is. It's great. Here we go. Look, that's superb. I love this. This is so easy. So if I move that out of the way, here's our little salad. Let's get a little spoon. And we can just sort of drizzle a little bit around. Should have used a slightly bigger spoon. Drizzle that around. Oh, that's so nice. And you can add a little bit more oil if you wish. Add a bit more, whatever you like. There we are. And I'm going to put that aside for after. So there's your pesto salad. Let's pop the lid back on. So, as I say, don't forget the versatility of the food processor. It really does give you lots of more options and a lot more help in the kitchen when you're prepping, things like that. I mean, a fab thing is carrot cake. You know, if you're going to be making a carrot cake, do all your grating and that sort of thing in the food processor side first, and then you can make your cake in the Cook Expert side. So, okay, we're nearly there. This is really rocking on really quickly, so excellent. So, the other thing I'd like to say is, and I think we should have a little recap of where we are. So we've had our shallot, our garlic and our spring onion. We chopped that first. Then we added our butter, melted that down. So that started to soften those beautiful shallots nicely. Then we added our rice, so the butter going into the rice, incorporating, added the wine. Let that simmer down for a little while. Then we added our stock and our water, and here is nearly done, our base of our risotto. So all we'll have to do when the timer is up is add our cherry tomatoes and our parmesan, which we'll do shortly. So the other thing I'd love to know is, what's your favourite dish? When you're letting us know who you are and where you are and all that kind of thing, do let us know what your favourite go-to dish is. We'd really love to know that. What do you make in your Cook Expert? Or what would you like to make in your Cook Expert? But just anyway, what's your favourite dish? What's your normal go-to dish? Do let us know. It's really handy for us all to know these sort of things. Lately, my go-to dish has been, I've been doing a lot of curries in this. So I've been doing prawn curry. I've been doing dumplings where I steamed the dumplings. That worked superb because you've got a steamer with this as well. My other favourite thing that I've been doing lately, and everyone talks about these fakeaways. Everyone's doing fakeaways, but they've really been great. I've been doing what would be a chicken noodle stir fry. That works really well in this as well. And yeah, there's tons. So do get in touch and let us know what your fave is as well. It's only done. It's only gone and done. That's really great. So 17 minutes. Let's have a lift off. And that's bubbling away there. Superb. Because you don't want to overcook your rice, because when you know how it is when you're doing risotto, it's going to continue to cook slightly. The starches will release and it will start to thicken even more. So let's add our tomatoes, our cherry. I don't want to show you that. Our cherry tomatoes, which I've just sliced and grated the I've grated some parmesan earlier as well. All we're going to do with this is just stir it in with your spatula. Just stir it in gently. That's going to melt the parmesan instantly. It's just going straight in. Looks amazing. And with that heat, that's just going to soften those tomatoes. So we just do that. Just incorporate all of that nicely. Beautiful. This spatula is, I'm spatula mad, talking about another spatula, but you can remove this rubber end as well, which gives you like a little metal spatula as well. So you've got sort of two in one. So there we go. I think we should get this into a bowl. Excuse me, disappearing again. Let's just give it a little bit of seasoning. Oh, wrong way. Give it a little pepper. I love pepper. I don't think I'm going to add any more salt because you've got the parmesan, which is quite salty, and we've got the stock, which is quite salty as well. Give that a little go. Right, let's get this in a bowl. We're nearly there. I'm so hungry. Grab a ladle. Now, let's take this off. You can take the bowl off and you can hold it really easily like this. If you're serving soup and stuff like that, you can use this little handle here as your pourer. It's quite heavy with this risotto in it, but so I'm going to put it down. But rice is quite heavy, but let's try and not make this messy. Do something with a bit of finesse. How's yours turning out? Is it all right? Hope so. Right, let's pop that back on there. Like so. Let's grab a little wee bit of basil. Pop a little bit of basil on there like that. Let's bring this forward and then let's drizzle a little bit of pesto. Do some little dots. Be fancy. Quite big dots. There we are. That looks good. Oh, delicious. Oh, well done. We've done it. Parmesan cherry tomato risotto with a little bit of pesto, and I don't know about you. I'm ready to tuck in. Can you see okay? Well, I really am so pleased you joined us. Thank you so much for coming along. And I do hope you get to make these things either now or in the future. And I hope to see you again. Take care. Lots of love. Bye.